Hi everyone, it's Middle-Aged Gamer Guy here, live from London. How you doing? How you doing? With another Tuesday night gaming chat where we talk about all the latest gaming news and reviews from the last 7 days or so. How is everyone? Let's see who's in chat. Kindred was the first one here. Good evening, sir. Good to see you. Chloe, good evening. How you doing? Rock News, good evening. How you doing? Flame, good evening. We are broadcasting live on YouTube and Twitch. Hope you're all doing good. Retro Jazar, hello. How are you? Hope all is well. So yes, for those who didn't see, as of yesterday, I am working in London currently on some gaming stuff I can't talk about. It is mega hot at the moment. iQuell has officially been a moderator for 18 months. Congratulations, iQuell. Says I'm celebrating my 18-month mod anniversary. Thank you for being a mod. There you go. So greatly appreciate. But yeah, we are, and it's mega hot here. Mega hot, as you can tell. Evening, everyone. So looking at buying some little extra things for people for the Berry meetup. The Berry meetup is now sold out. So the Twitch meetup in Manchester, which is Friday next week, has sold out. There is now a waiting list for tickets, which is phenomenal. So I'm really happy about that. So that's great. We are good. Still super hot here as well. What's new? Over 200 people. Over 200 people, Rock News, attending. There you go. Wonder how much of the 18 months he spent been eating his tea. I know. I wonder as well. I do wonder. Camera keeps freezing. Does it? Is that for anyone else? Can my co-host and guest confirm that is a thing as well? Is that happening? I can see Dave frantically typing away. It's happened a couple of times. Thank you, Dave. Okay, let me know if it keeps happening. I wonder if I can drop. Okay, so I wonder if it's the internet here. It's probably the internet. Tell you what then, if I see if I can do something clever. Oh, I can't without ending the stream. Damn it. Yeah, well, we're just going to have to live with it then. If it's really bad, let me know. I'm not seeing that at all. I'm even looking on my preview window and not seeing it. So as long as you can hear me, then we'll get away with it. But I was going to see if I could drop the resolution of the stream down, but I can't without ending it, and I ain't going to do that. Unless it gets really bad. Just keep me in the loop, folks. I've just seen it on my preview window. Yeah, I can live with that. We've had guests that's happened to, so fine. Okay, without further ado, talking to the man who's been keeping an eye on what's going on backstage for me. Please give it up for the co-host who knows the most, the one and only Mr. Davy Jones.
Good evening, mate. How you doing?
All right, how are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you.
Good. Kinship said, so you had better internet in South America than London? Possibly, yes.
Doesn't make sense, does it?
I know. And I wasn't even hardwired in. I'm not hardwired here, but I wasn't hardwired in South America. I was trying to use South America, which is coming up to nearly a year since we did that broadcast. But the Wi-Fi was at the reception, which was at the other end of the building. And I'm surprised that worked. Yet when I was in Liverpool, the router was next to me. And the Wi-Fi was terrible. This works. We can make this work. So it's all good. So anyway, Davey's in the basement. Maybe that's why he's got better Wi-Fi.
Indeed. Yeah. Close to the router down here.
Yeah. I've actually just sat down with my tea as it happens. I should be fine for shout-outs after Midday has done the usual intro and banter. Thank you. Greatly. How was your weekend, Dave? What you been up to? What you been playing?
My weekend was all right, thanks, mate. Just a bit of a lazy one, just doing a few jobs in the garden and nothing outrageously exciting. But, still getting some gaming in. Nothing really that different than what I've been playing in recent weeks. Still on Forza Horizon 6 and Battlefield 6 on and off.
Yeah.
Just, dropping in just to keep up with those and still enjoying them both. And then I did pick up Baldur's Gate 3 again. It's been a couple of weeks since I played that. So still carrying Act 3. But slowly whittering down the quests that are remaining before I go to the the last one. Just getting like the companion quest done and a few of the ones I've got there. So the number is going down now. So I'll just stick at it and I'll get it done eventually. I don't get too distracted with the stuff coming out. We've got a few good things out next week. So
yeah, we've got a couple of good things coming out.
Highly possible.
There you go. Kindred is still playing The Last of Us 2. This makes me laugh because this is what happened to everybody. I thought it was at the end of The Last of Us 2, then realised now I've got the whole Abby thing to do. Yes. The part where the game should have ended. Yeah. As much as I did love that game was a little bit overlong and it didn't help by having that. But hey ho. Still a good game. Yeah. I have nearly finished Replaced, but I have not been able to play it because I'm here in London. So I'm literally one chapter away from finishing it. So that will have to wait. I might get a chance to finish it. Maybe. But yeah, we'll see. It might be a couple of weeks before I can crack back on with the backlog. We'll see how we go. So not really much I've played, to be honest. Not going to lie this week, but there you go. But then I get to try out a load of new games next week and the week after. So can't really complain. There you go. Preferred the first one to the second. I think a lot of people did. But there you go. Anyway, without further ado, let's bring in our guest this evening. This gentleman has a wonderful podcast. He's one of a number of podcasts that he does through the network that he's got. And I was a guest last year on one of the episodes. Hannah, good evening. How are you? And this year, there is a brand new episode that features me, which goes live tomorrow. So my timing being absolutely terrible, there might be stuff that we haven't announced yet that comes out, but that's not Jeff's fault. That's my fault. So Jess, you can shout at me. So there you go. So if you want to find out some stuff that we haven't announced yet, that's an incentive to listen to the podcast. Please welcome from 8-Bit Back Issues. Please welcome Geoff Owens. Hello, Geoff.
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
I'm all right. Good to see you again.
It's too late to edit anything out of that podcast now. It's there ready for dropping. It's going to go.
Fine. I'm not going to do that to you. There you go. Yeah.
And I've been playing Last of Us 2 as well. So.
Have you? So have you got that point where you've got to the bit where you've gone, yeah, this game should have ended now, about now?
I feel like it's going on a bit. But yeah, I haven't got to that bit. I know exactly what happens because I have seen a spoiler where you play the whole second half of the game as another player. I'm still playing as Ellie at the moment, so enjoying that part of the game.
Cool. I still think it's a very, very good game, but just
definitely.
It does suffer from some games where it gets a little bit long into, like the Silent Hill 2 remake. We've said this many a time. Fantastic remake. They just padded it out a bit too much, which always never so good. There you go. Danka says, Notepad at the ready for all the juicy exclusives. There you go. So obviously there's the link for you can go follow 8-Bit Back Issues on X, but also you can get it on Spotify, iTunes, numerous other places. But for anyone who's not seen it or listened to it, Geoff, please do tell everyone that's watching what 8-Bit Back Issues actually is, please.
Well, what we do is we bring out a magazine from anything really from the 70s up until modern day. If anyone can find a magazine that's still going, video games. But the magazine it can be anything from the years of the Atari all the way up to modern Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. We've had a few about the Sinclair Spectrum, which is my area of knowledge a little bit more, so I do tend to possibly focus a little bit more on that. I've been trying to move away from that though, but we've had episodes about American magazines. We've got one coming out next month, which has got an Australian magazine with John Robertson from the Dark Room. That's going to be the August episode.
Amazing. I'm not familiar with Australian gaming magazines. You don't hear about them much, so that'd be interesting to.
It's a very similar style to British gaming magazines, particularly the humor from the 80s and 90s, which seem very much influenced by the likes of smash hits and magazines like that. So it's got that sort of ironic, sarcastic humor to it. It's pretty good.
Quickman says, hello, Quickman, by the way. Says, I do like looking at old game mags. Amiga power forever.
We've done an episode on Amiga Power about 18 months ago.
You got to check them out. So I always had a fondness because obviously my first one was my first ever copy of Computer and Video Games from 1988. And then we jumped, for this episode that goes live tomorrow, we've jumped 2 years. We got into the 1990s where they started to show stuff for like NES and other things and the Atari Lynx and other little, getting into the next era of gaming, which was just see that in a 2-year jump, how it changed from just Spectrum, Amstrad, etc., C64 to getting into consoles.
Yeah, well, there's even mention of PC Engine games,
Yes.
which is such a rare niche for the time as well. So my knowledge of PC Engine games isn't great. I have played 1 or 2 over the years, but it's quite nice to see them hyping it up at the time. It's quite fun.
Yeah. Kindred says, I think my first mug I ever bought was Your Sinclair.
Same here.
There you go. There you go. Dave, do you remember what the first gaming magazine was you bought?
It could well have been a CVG.
Mm.
I can't recall anything else. Yeah, I mean, my first computer type thing was an Amstrad CPC. So I definitely didn't go for anything Your Sinclair wise. Maybe I found like an Amstrad magazine. Bit too far back in time to remember properly though.
PC Engine was always good for all the shumps. I think so. We had, what was it, Road Blasters on the cover of the 1981, and it was Golden Axe, wasn't it?
Golden Axe, yeah.
Golden Axe was hitting the Mega Drive and everything. So for Sega and stuff. So very fond memories. Maybe if you have me back on the show, we jump another 2 years and see what's happened. But I've seen that one of your latest episodes. I got one from the 1990s. We had is it Louise from
Yeah. Bizarrely,
the rapper was it or something?
That was last month's episode. I had Matt Latham, who is also from our network as well. He hosts or co-hosts a Red Dwarf podcast. He does a music podcast as well called Pick a Disc. So when he gave me this magazine, which had Louise on the cover, I thought, this is so you, Matt. We just have this weird conversation about why the hell Louise is in a gaming mag playing Parappa the Rapper. And I don't know if it was something that they then went on to do as a regular thing, but it's quite fun seeing the snapshot of time. It is so 90s a magazine cover. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's so bizarre. I don't even remember that cover, so that makes me think I might have stopped reading that magazine, because I think that's when they converted to CVG and then went back to computer and video games, because they tried being trendy and hip at one point and called it CVG and it didn't catch on, and it went back. And I don't think, because I don't remember having that on the cover. So I think I remember a singer from Eternal. She's a TV now anyway these days, isn't she? Louise. Is it Louise Nerding? She was called Louise Redknapp. Is she still Louise Redknapp? I don't know. I think that. Who knows? Let's not go down that route. We're not talking about pop stars.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? I think my first ever games magazine was Games Master, issue 3. I was a big CVG fan in the late 90s, though. I still go back and look at them on the Internet Archive. There you go. There you go. A quick man says, I think I had a Games Master or an official PS1 mag. Icon says, I had the Louise Parappa crossover issue. Oh, my God. We've started. Well, go listen to that episode as well. If you want to listen to all the episodes, feel free.
There's 30 episodes so far. You're 31.
Yeah, there you go. We're going to be number 31, which goes live. There is the chat. It's pinned to the top of the chat on the Twitch chat. Icon, if you can drop the links again, be greatly appreciated. If you can click the link and listen, subscribe. But it's not just Spotify. It can also be found on which other listening places, Geoff?
Apple Podcasts, Podbean, basically anywhere you find podcasts. I use a podcast catcher called Podcast Republic. I think I'm the only person I know who uses that. It's an Android app, and the great thing is I can download them and playlist them, and I haven't found anything else that does that yet.
Nice. So go check it out. The links are there in the chat. Shall we start our So we start our show for this evening?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's do this. Let's see if I break the internet by hitting a button. So I'll tell you what, let's do first things first. Let's turn all the comments on. There you go. Let's hit this. This is our 273rd show. Tonight we're going to be discussing Monopoly Star Wars, Heroes and Villains, a Rhythm Heaven Groove, which also has a different name in this country, as we discovered earlier. So there you go. Also, we're going to be discussing the mass Xbox layoffs and the end of physical media, as well as the Xbox retail charts. This and much more. What I'm going to say is this week was another very slim week for new game releases. We've only got 3 new games from the last 7 days. However, there have been a lot of games that have come out in the last 2 weeks that reviews have only just landed. So, kicking off is our first game tonight. It was a game I actually streamed that I wanted to talk about 2 weeks on the show, but there were no reviews for it, but they finally landed. So this actually came out 2-3 weeks ago on Tuesday, the 16th of June on Xbox Series X and S, PS5, PC and Switch 2, and you can play it on Game Pass. And this was Junkster.
You're on mute.
Yeah, am I on mute? My mic just muted. There you go. Did everyone see the video okay, or did it go weird at the end for anyone?
It looked fine to me.
Cool. It just literally stopped on mine, so that's fine. It just stopped, but that's fine. As long as everyone saw it. That's cool. Here we go. So this is Junkster, folks. It is £10 on Steam, £10 on Xbox. You can get free on Game Pass Ultimate. On PlayStation, it's about 50p cheaper, £9.49. And a tenner on Switch. It is a really cute game. Dave, tell us more about this one.
Yeah, it's a little 3D action platform. You're playing as a cute little robot called 13, whose ship crash lands on a junkyard planet. And so you've got to go out and try and find all the missing bits of your ship. And I think human artifacts as well that you were carrying. You've got to collect all those again. And then, ultimately rebuild your ship and try and escape. From what I could see in the trailer and the video I watched earlier, it does look quite a nice game. It's gone for sort of comic book style with its visuals. They sort of add that comic book style into the game itself with some of the little words that pop up. And I think you've got comic book sections to it where it's telling the story. And it looks like quite a good platform as well. Lots of little collectibles in there. It's got a little building element as well for the stuff you pick up. It's like build platforms so you get across areas. Looks like quite a nice little game. And for like £10 across most platforms, not a bad price either.
Yeah,
it looks worth a go to me.
Yeah, I was quite surprised at how much it actually costs. Not going to lie, but yeah, I played this on Game Pass. I had a lot of fun with this, and it's a good little platformer. There's also some crazy puzzles, some which are quite easy to figure out, some which you really do have to look up stuff on. Guys, I'm not going to lie. There was one thing we were just like, how on earth do you get to these things, especially if you want to get like 100%? There's a few things. But I like also the creativity in it. The combat's nothing too difficult, but I liked how it constantly made you look for different things and it opened up different areas. So yeah, really enjoyed this. Geoff, your thoughts on this, on Junkster?
I think the fact that it's on Game Pass probably means I'll give it a chance. I'll give it a download and see what it's like. It's probably not the sort of game I would have gone out of my way to play, but I'm always happy to give games a go if they're out there on Game Pass or free downloads or whatever. I'll give them a try. And both of you are saying how good it is, how fun it is, and I do quite like the sort of comic book aesthetic about it, the cell shading, the Batman 1960s Batman sort of thwack and kapow captions that are coming up as well. I thought, it sort of appeals to my sense of humor. I'll give it a go. I'll give it an hour and see if I play beyond that. But I'll give it a go.
All right. Okay. Well, for those who've not seen the show, we don't review the games. Technically, we scour the internet, find lots of different reviews from lots of different outlets, and look at the critic score and turn that into an average score. You may agree with it, you may not, but you can guess anything between a 0 and a 10, and you can have 0.5s as well. People are already starting putting scores in chat, so let's see what people are saying. Chloe says a safe 7, methinks. Danka, 8. Quickman, 7.5. Hannah, 8. Rockmuse, 7. Kindred, 8. Dave, I'll start with you. What do you reckon this got?
I'm going to go with, I'm going to say 7 for this one.
Safe 7 for this one. Retro Shazar saying an 8. Geoff, what do you reckon this has got?
Let's go with an 8.
Okay, going for an 8. All right. And Flame is saying a 7. Folks, this is your last chance. This is Junkster, which came out on Tuesday, the 16th of June on Xbox Series X and S, PS5, PC, Switch 2, and is on Game Pass. And if there are no more guesses in the chat, I can tell you that this... Oh, iQual coming in with a 7.5. I can tell you this got an 8 out of 10. And rightly so, because I thought it was a really, really good game. Probably enjoyed it. I at some point, I want to try and finish it. I don't think it's a mega long game as well. It's literally like 12 or 14 levels. And I think some of them are like quite lengthy and some are quite short. So it kind of balances out quite nicely. So yeah, so there you go. Get a shout out for Geoff. Congratulations, Geoff. You got it right. Well done. That's your first one right. Let's see who else in chat got it right as well. Retro Jazar, congratulations. Kindred, you got it right. Hannah, you got it right. And Danka, you are all 1 for 1 off the starting bat, which is perfect. And there you go. If you're not listening to 8-Bit Back Issues, go click those links. You'll be able to hear not only last month's episode, but the latest episode that launches tomorrow with moi on it. There you go. So let's move on to our second game this evening. Let's see if the trailer works for me. This is a DLC to a game that we have spoken about before. This DLC came out 1 week later on Tuesday, the 23rd of June for PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PS5. And this is for Frostpunk 2. And the DLC is called Breach of Trust. Let's have a look at the DLC trailer for this.
On their bones an icy store, we painted a city with our blood and guts. We tamed nature's soul. Abundance flow from the red hell's mouth as steam gave us warm homes, full bellies, and peace of heart. The mountain roars doom and coughs of black smoke. The endless night comes long and cold. Raise lantern light and follow our voice. The city shall live as long
There you go, folks. Let me know. Geoff said the sound went on the trailer. It was working for me. I think we're just having weird things going on here. Dave, could you hear the sound for the trailer?
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I didn't notice anything go funny on it from my point of view.
Okay, weird. So I've had a weird video where it didn't look like it was playing, and Geoff's had one where we just have to go with it. As long as the chat saw it and says it's fine, we'll go with it. I have no idea what's going on. Gremlins tonight. We'll blame the heat. It's Gremlins tonight.
Yeah,
we had it last night with Twitch. All the things that people do the redeems all came out in the wrong order. It's like it's supposed to come out in list order. We're just firing it out there. Brian, good evening. Says it worked fine for me. Good to see you. So this DLC is £11 on PC on Steam, £10.74 on Xbox, and is cheapest on PlayStation at $9.99. So Dave, tell us a little bit more about this DLC, please.
Yes, this is adding a new scenario onto the base game. I think you're in charge of a city called New Edinburgh that's been built near an active volcano that has become somewhat destabilised with all the sort of geothermal energy use that's been done around it to power the city. So you're sort of taking over from like the previous leader of the city who's been like ousted, and it's up to you to try and balance like the city's survival, politics, diplomacy, all those sorts of things, all these morally grey decisions you've got to make in the game to try and keep the city going and see if you can get the populace away from this one before a disaster occurs, and you try and get into another city that's nearby that might be friendly to you depending on how you treat them. So it's quite an interesting take of the city builder, the survival elements. Always thought these looked and sounded pretty cool, but I never got around to playing either of the main games. But yeah, they do look pretty good.
Yeah, I've never played either. But yeah, we'll see what we think. Geoff, have you tried the Frostpunk games?
No, they're not my sort of game, in all honesty. So yeah, this one would have passed me by, unfortunately.
That's fair enough. What do you think to this concept of a DLC? It's not too badly priced as well, is it, for a DLC?
Me?
Yeah.
It's a decent price for a DLC. I mean, I've seen, DLC is a lot more expensive than this, and this looks like its own. It's got quite a substantial game here. You're looking probably a good several hours worth of play on this, I would have thought. Possibly even more, depending on how lost in the world you get.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's good value for money if you like that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's good. I think as you say, if you like these kind of games, then you're going to get you'll get a lot of game time for your money on this one, I think.
Yeah. People are going to get more out of this game than I would. I think it's safe to say.
It's not something I would play personally, but there you go. I'm like you. Let's see what people are saying scores-wise. Chloe going for a 7. Rockme's going for a 7. Danker for a 7.5. Quickman 7.5. Tompa says 7.5. Brian from the UK Gaming Network says 7.5. Everyone's just saying 7.5. Hannah 7.5. Kindred 7.5. And he said, and that may be too high. We'll see. Flame. Oh, finally, someone else has given a different score. 7. Thank you. Geoff, we'll start with you. What do you reckon this has got?
Sorry, Brian from the UK Gaming Network has been a guest on the show as well. I just want to say as well.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
6.5.
Okay, 6.5. Retro Jazar saying a 7. Icor saying a 7. Dave, what say you?
I'm going to say a 7 as well.
Go for a 7 as well. Okay, folks, it's your last chance. This is the new DLC for Frostpunk 2. This is Breach of Trust, which came out on Tuesday, the 23rd of June, for PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PS5. And if there are no more scores in the chat, I can tell you that this did get 7.5. So there's a lot of people who got this right. A lot of people. So congratulations to the following: Kindred, Hannah, Brian, Tompa. It's great because Tompa missed the trailer, so that's a good start for Tompa. That's good. Quickman, Danker as well. So all of you are going to get shout outs. Congratulations. And now I know that means Steam players really don't like this DLC. Best view is the gameplay -5, Scottish accent +10. This is why I don't go on gameplay reviews. There you go. Fence sitting wins. Indeed it does. So congratulations to you. So some of you are 2 for 2 tonight. Well done. And while those scores are being dashed out, thank you, iQuail, let's talk about some gaming news. And yes, just like the last couple of weeks, pretty much none of the gaming news is anything happy. It's all really miserable, I'm not going to lie. And we're going to kick off with this because literally after we finished last week's show, it was announced that Xbox were considering cancelling Arcane's Blade game. Now, we're still waiting to see what's happening. We are going to talk about what's happening with the other studios and stuff later. So we're not going to go on with what's happening to what studios just yet. But we want to talk about this because obviously the reasons Xbox were considering cancelling this is, one, it's gone massively over budget, apparently, according to Microsoft. And the date for release has been pushed back till 2027, and we've got no firm release date for this. This is one of 5 studios that Xbox already stated at the back end of June were looking to possibly sell off, move, or do something with. So not necessarily close down. Obviously, I said we'll talk about what happened to them a little bit later on. But this was one of 5. So Arcane was one. Double Fine was the other, known for stuff like Psychonauts and obviously my game of the year last year, Keeper. Undead Labs, who had recently just announced State of Decay 3. Compulsion Games, who brought out, again, a fantastic game, South of Midnight last year. And Ninja Theory, who also had a game announced at the Xbox showcase just over a month ago with the brand new Hellblade game. So we had 2 games actually announced from studios that they are considering to get rid of. So this is the thing. Before we get into the whole in-depth of what's happening to these studios, as I said, we'll talk about that later. The Blade game, we've not really seen any footage since 2023. And then what we've seen is not really any gameplay. It's just a bit of sort of, yeah. This feels like it's also gone the same way as that other Marvel game, which was the Hydra game, 18, whatever it was, with Captain America and Black Panther. And we're still yet to see any proper decent gameplay. We just had the same trailer and over again for 3 years. Do we think this is going to go the same way as that? Do we think this is not actually going to get saved and this will be a project that gets scrapped?
I mean, it could well be on the pile to get scrapped because there's one problem it's got is it's a licensed IP, and they're probably going to have to pay like Disney a huge amount of money, for, licensing it when the game comes out. Disney will be taking lots of royalties, for that. So perhaps Microsoft, wouldn't make much back from it, if it doesn't sell particularly well. So they might be weighing that up and thinking, if we let it go for another year, it's going to cost us another like 50 million. Do we think we'll make that back? Possibly not. I mean, we don't know exactly what the game is going to be because we haven't seen any gameplay of it. You can only really go on what Arcane did in the past, and whilst they've done some good games in the past, not all of them have been like big sellers. The Dishonored series, I don't think sold particularly well, even though they're really fantastic games. I love.
No, Prey didn't do
sold poorly. Fantastic game again though.
It was a great game.
Definitely was critically lauded, and I think did sell well, but I wasn't a huge fan of that one myself. Then, of course, we all know what happened with Redfall when that came out. That caused the closure of the other side of Arcane, the Austin Studios. It's just Arcane Leon that's hanging around with Blade at the moment. As much as I'd like to see it, I don't know. I just feel like it could be one of those ones that they'll just look at it and think it's not worth pumping more money in. But I would then hope that I'd find a way to sell Arcane so they can keep going. Because I think they are a good studio. They can do some good stuff. But I think a lot of these studios have got to try and find ways to make stuff faster and just with less of a cost, because AAA is just unsustainable really, unless you can guarantee you're going to make your money back and more. It's just not really worth investing in some of these games anymore, unfortunately. And they'd say 5 or more years and like 200, 300, 400 million. It's just like, how are you going to make your money back on those? Really hard.
If this is already over budget, they aren't going to be willing to put any more money when Microsoft are trying to save money, which is worrying. Geoff, your thoughts on this, and I'll have a look at see what the chat's saying.
It seems to be going through the same difficulties that the Blade movie is going through, because that's been in development hell for about 2-3 years now. The director has changed many times. The star has left the production. So, it seems that anything with the word Blade attached to it at the moment is a bit of a poison chalice. And it's a shame, because did you ever play the Blade 2 game that came out on Xbox?
I didn't know.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that back in the day. I'm a bit of a sucker for superhero games, in all honesty. I'm probably a bad judge of reviewing games like that, because I liked the Marvel Avengers game that came out on the Xbox a couple of years ago. I thought there was nothing wrong with it. I didn't see what all the hate was for it, in all honesty. So I've kind of been looking forward to this, but it just looks like it's never going to see the light of day, the same as the movie.
Which is a shame. Let's see what people are saying. Quickman says, the cruelty of having games at shows like Game Awards or Summer Games Fest when you already know you're cancelling it, killing the team, making it as cartoonish. See, and this is what I don't get, and I'll talk about this in a minute. At least Blade's going to be in the upcoming fighting game, which is obviously Marvel Token, which comes out in next month with that. But I mean, this is the funny thing. Old Kindred had the Blade 2 game on PS2. There you go. So he remembers it. I think this is the funny thing, though, because why spend all that money and put out the trailer? Because, especially Summer Games Fest and things like the Game Awards, it's about £1 million a minute to put out one of those trailers, right? Why would you do that if you were already knowing that you might want to sell on these companies or get rid of them? Why would you even think of... You'd be better off pulling the trailer and not showing anything. Because people were kind of like, oh, we're getting a new State of Decay. Oh, we're getting a new Hellblade. Not that I give a shit about that game, but anyway, because it's not a game. And then just to be told like 2 days later, oh, by the way, we might be shutting studio down, so actually you're not going to get those games. It seems ridiculous to me why they've done that. Marvel 1943 was supposed to be coming out this year, and that's it's been delayed multiple times. So it's not just 2025. We've mentioned it on our when we did the shows at the start of the year. We mentioned it a couple of times already because it was supposed to come out that year. Then it got pushed back from 24 from 25 to 26, now 26 to 27. Lord knows if we'll ever see it. We've not seen anything from it.
I hope we do, because I like the sound of that one, but as you say,
it sounds interesting. Yeah, it's set in the World War, playing two different iconic characters. Sounds great. Marvel Token announced Blade at Evo, and that went down very well. It did. So I think that game will be all right. Again, that was in our top 50 games. They should just advertise Timeless instead. Get your tickets now. You can see some wonderful people there. Like Geoff. Geoff will be there. So there you go.
Cool. I will.
Yeah, he will be there. You go through the front door, and he's literally one of the first things you'll see. So there you go.
I'll be there as a trader.
Yes.
Although you can, feel free to ask me about the podcast. I'm not going to complain. My partner might, but I'm not.
And take photos. He's very amicable like that. It was a surprise when he wasn't in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Jamie wasn't in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So now it's not. Yeah, there you go. So he's in it. So I'll keep some Blade fans happy. But yeah, there you go. We'll talk more Xbox news a little bit later on in the show. But let's move on to our next game. Now, this is a game that's been out for quite a few years and has already been on Nintendo Switch. But on Tuesday, the 23rd of June, it got its release onto Switch 2, as many games have been. So again, if you've never played this before, it might be a good option to go for. This is from the likes of Sega. This is Sonic Frontiers, the definitive edition, releasing on Switch 2. Let's have a look at the trailer for this.
Coming up on the Starfall Islands. You tracked the Chaos Emeralds here, right? Let's find out what drew them here.
The skies ahead are vast and clear. I hold my breath, step up a gear, feel the wind, smell the air. Chances are everywhere.
Hold it, Hedgehog!
Before you embark, there is one other scenario to consider.
I know it's been rough, and things are confusing. But I need you guys to just follow my lead. I need you three to find the Chaos Emeralds.
You can count on us.
The voice deep inside. Obstacles are no excuse. Come what may, there's nothing to lose. Turbulence won't stop us. We'll keep rolling through. Challenges life throws our way make us even stronger today. Things that we ignite.
Here we go.
Find the Chaos Emeralds.
You guys are the best.
Destroy the Titans. Tear down the walls between dimensions.
Well, what will you do?
The best I can.
I'm here, reaching far across these known frontiers. With my fight this fear. In my hands I hold the ones I
He never stops. Clarification. He never gives up.
Wow. Nice catch, Sonic.
There you go. Sonic Frontiers finally makes its way onto Switch 2. I'm not going to say anything about this game just yet because I played this going quite a while back. So, Dave, I'll let you tell people who may not have played it what this one is all about.
Yeah, so in this one, this is Sonic ends up on the Starfall Islands trying to find the Chaos Emeralds, and the design for this one was they gave you quite a lot of open zones with lots of like little sort of puzzles and lots of platforming to do, and then lots of these big boss fights as you're making your way across the different sort of biomes of the island. I can't remember. This never really grabbed me when it came out. I remember looking at some of the like the puzzle design and stuff like that, and just not really thinking it looked particularly good. And especially like the original Switch version did look a bit ropey, but I mean, the Switch not been that powerful. You can understand why this was a bit cut back. So it looks improved for the Switch 2, but I've seen various complaints that graphically it's still not really up to much. And the one thing that's upset a lot of people is there's no upgrade path for this. So if you own the Switch 1 version, you have to buy this again for the Switch 2. Yeah, I mean, this does include a lot of the stuff that's come out since the original launch. There's various like DLC, like some more game stuff in there, more playable characters, lots of other bits and pieces. So you got all that in there, but it's a shame that there's no upgrade path. It's always a bit annoying when they do that. It'd be nice if there's one, but I know they haven't got to. But it always, you just check a box for a bit of a win with your customers if you put an upgrade path in there. So I think stuff like that is kind of like holding this back from getting decent scores from what I've seen.
Okay, all right. Geoff, your thoughts on Sonic Frontiers? Was this one that you played on other platforms?
I haven't got Switch, so I haven't played the original of this. I'm always a bit of a fan of Sonic, in all honesty, but I've never got into the 3D games as much. What I found quite funny is I don't know what's going on. I'm not hearing music on the trailers. I'm hearing the speech. So right at the end of that trailer, I just had a random "wow" from one of the characters right at the end.
What's going on there? Why you're not getting it? I don't know. That's bizarre.
I've tried messing around with my audio settings here if there's a problem with my speaker or something, but I'm not hearing music. I can only hear the speech, but that's fine. I'm getting the gist of it. What I did notice when I did the search for this earlier on today, just when you sent me the list of games you were going to be looking at, I had a quick look at this, and the first Google search result that came up was someone saying this is a terrible game, and I thought, well, okay, don't know if it looks that bad. In all honesty, yeah, I think I'd give this a go. As I said, it's a Sonic game. I'm happy to give it a try.
Yeah. So I got to play this about 9 months ahead of its release, going back quite a few years ago at a trade show. And the demo I played, I was like, this is great. I really like this. And then it came out, and I didn't get around to playing it. And about a year later, it came to PS Plus. So I played it on PlayStation 5. And I played all the bit that I played in the demo and the trade show. And then after that bit, I carried on playing and went, oh, shit, this isn't as good as I thought it was going to be. And I felt it just dragged a bit. I know some people loved it. I just couldn't get into it. I was like, Dave, I got so far and I was like, this just feels like there's no sense of what the hell you're supposed to be doing. I know it's like a semi-open world thing, but it just didn't seem coherent. So I didn't like it. I was massively disappointed with it. I think I've still got it on my PlayStation 5. So I did hear when it came to Switch, as Dave said, it didn't do very well and it did suffer. So you would think that a Switch 2 release will be better, because that's the whole point of releasing on Switch 2. The games will be better. But we'll find out. Jenny, good evening. You've just joined us. Good to see you. But let's see what people are saying scores-wise. Also, this is 45 quid, by the way, if you want this on Switch 2. So if you'd already bought it on Switch, and as Dave said, you can't get an upgrade thing for it, you want to buy it, you've got to shell out another 45 quid for this. Danka says, a good game, but heard this version does seem to have issues at 5.5. Hannah said 7. Rockme said 6. Aqua said, I completed this game, but don't remember being able to choose your character.
I think that came afterwards in DLC, because you can now, apparently.
Couldn't at the start, but then you can after, yeah. Rockme said a 6. iQuail 6. Tompa 6.5. Already know the score of this one, so won't cheat, but I love Sonic Frontiers. This is a case of a great game, but a bad release. Hannah then changed her score to 6.5 after what we were saying. Brian said a 6. He said, oh, good old Big Cat, voiced by Duke Nukem. There you go. I didn't know that. What a shame. 6, says Jenny. Good to see you, mate. And you, Jenny. Good to see you. Retro Jazar saying a 7. Flame saying a 6.5. Chat, get your scores in now. Kindred is saying a 5 out of 10. Dave, we'll start with you on this one. What is it you've got?
I'll try a 6 for this.
Okay, going for 6. Jeff, what do you reckon?
Can I go the same score? Because I think 6 is probably about the... Yeah, 6 is what I'm thinking of as well for this.
All right, going for a 6. Folks, this is your last chance. This is Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition, which came out on Switch 2 on Tuesday, the 23rd of June. And if there are no more scores in the chat, I can tell you that this got 5.5. So it's just above average, just slightly average. It doesn't play well on Switch 2, which you think it would. You think they would have learned the problems from the original Switch release, and they haven't. If you like the look of it, play it on Xbox or PlayStation. It's fine. I think you can get it on PC as well. I think it's on PC as well. So it's on all platforms. Just don't play it on any version of the Switch. Seriously. Because I know there's genuinely people that love it. I know Chaotic Neutral, who's been in our chat sometimes, loved this game. She played it all the way through start to finish. So just don't get it on Switch. I think I got bored pretty quickly on PS5. Same as me then, Kindred. I got bored of it quick. 5 gold rings, says Jenny. Yeah, on this case, 5.5. So the only person that gets a shout out for this one is Danka, who's bang on the nose. But he already knew that the original Switch version was pretty bad. So there you go. Well done, Danka. So Danka is 3 for 3 so far this evening. So there you go. Moving on. We're now coming to the new games. So games that will come out in the last 7 days or so. And we start off with a game that came out last Tuesday. The reviews literally came out after we finished the show. This is on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, Switch 2, and PC. And this is Monopoly Star Wars Heroes and Villains. Here we go.
A crossover of galactic proportions. Monopoly like you've never played before. Choose your side, heroes or villains. Build your power, control the galaxy.
Did make me think they didn't have the rights to use the Star Wars music. So
I was thinking the same.
An orchestral thing. And as Rodney said, why did that sound like more like Back to the Future than that? I think they took a bit of Back to the Future, tiny bit of Star Wars, and something else, lumped it together and went, that'll do. We won't have to pay any copyright. But there you go. So yes, Monopoly Star Wars, Heroes and Villains. Dave pretty much said what it is on the tin, really, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, Monopoly. I mean, we've had various, different themes of the board game over the years. I think even some of the digital games as well. So,
yeah,
not surprising. And yeah, you might as well mix it with like a big franchise like Star Wars. I mean, it doesn't look anything particularly special. I mean, I think the animation and style of the characters is probably a little bit like the Clone Wars animation.
Yeah.
I'd never really liked the look of those. So, the visuals of the characters really appeals to me in this. And I think the only sort of extra bit it's really got is looks like it's got some sort of mini games. Probably when you like hit go, or perhaps when you get like, onto the chance squares and stuff like that, you get these little mini games to do. And I think some of that can cause like some of the locations like switch control. So, it's another way to get control of some of the properties on the board, which is going to be themed after the various planets in the Star Wars galaxy. And I think this one is actually sort of team-based, so it's 2v2 or 3v3 it's meant to be. You could probably have some fun playing it with some friends, but you probably have to convince some friends to like bits away 25, couldn't it? Unless it popped up on like Game Pass or PS Plus.
Yeah.
Then you could probably have a laugh with a few beers with it, but I don't know, otherwise it's just Monopoly. I can't rush out and buy this.
I was going to say you might as well buy the board game, but I'm guessing the board game will probably actually be more expensive than 25 quid.
You never know.
Because the board games seem to be more and more expensive these days. And it is 25 quid, as Kindred said, 25 quid across the board on all platforms. So there you go. Just seeing what someone said. Oh, Darth Vader is the second most iconic villain in any franchise behind the one and only Dave Johnson in the MAG cinematic universe. He is a true villain. Rodney said he's Voldemort for yes. I hate these collabs. I hate that these collabs are being churned out to make money. But I also want to play it because I love both Star Wars and Monopoly. I like to play it as an actual board game. There is Star Wars Monopoly though. Whether it's exactly like this. What's the betting? People download it for May the 4th, same as the Power Wash Simulator DLC. Well, Power Wash Simulator DLC is out in a week or two, which is obviously a Star Wars thing. But obviously May the 4th's been and gone. But then again, they'll probably do a silly sale. They do silly sales, don't they, on May the 4th, for everything related to Star Wars. So I could probably see that happening. Yeah. Geoff, your thoughts on Monopoly Star Wars?
Well, I'm pretty sure this isn't the first time we've had a Monopoly Star Wars computer game. I'm sure there was one back in the 90s before even the prequel movies were a thing. And I had a copy of this on CD-ROM, and I absolutely adored it. And I'm looking at this thinking, apart from people from the new films, what's different about it? I mean, it's Monopoly, really, so there's not going to be much that they can change. I'm pretty sure I remember things like X-Wings and that shooting characters in the game, and I'm thinking, yeah, it's a bit violent for a Monopoly game. But then you mentioned earlier on that 8-Bit Back Issues isn't the only podcast I do. I do a podcast about the other star related property. So Star Wars isn't my favorite thing. Having said that, yeah, I'll give it a go. Star Wars Monopoly. I love Monopoly. I love board games in general. And even as a Star Trek fan, I can't hate Star Wars. I'll play it. I'll give it a go. I'll see. It does look a lot of fun.
There you go. People are discussing more villains in the chat. Voldemort above Sauron? Never. But Dave Johnson above them all? Yes. Jenny's just found the Star Wars board game. It's only £13.75. Go get that instead. No offense. Apparently there was Star Wars chess as well. I remember that. Also very iconic. There you go. Let's have a look. What's people saying scores wise? Get your scores in chat. Danker, 7 out of 10. Hannah, 7 out of 10. Brian says, keep thinking of buying this for streaming purposes. 7 out of 10. Kindred, 7 out of 10. Rock Muse, slightly high with a 7.5. Chloe, 7 out of 10. Tompa, 7 out of 10. Seems to be the favourite here. Flame, 7 out of 10. Folks, get your scores in the chat. Geoff, I'll go with you. What do you reckon this got?
Everybody's going for 7 out of 10. I'm going to go for 7.5. I'm going to...
Okay. Going a little one step higher. Retro Shazar, also agreeing with you. Apparently the Star Wars chest is a lot more expensive than £13.50. So there you go. Jenny says a 6. Arcor saying a 7. Here's the one that we speak of. Dave Housen, 7 out of 10. Quickman, 7 out of 10. Dun, 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 dun. Something like that. Or dun, 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 dun. That's what that's supposed to be. The villain of the hour. Good word, Dave. Sir David of Bucketshire. Best video Monopoly game has got to be Monopoly Party on PS2. There you go. Bit of a throwback. Dave, what would you score this?
I'll try a 7.
Okay. Going for a 7. The Ubisoft Monopoly releases are bad. It's funny because this is one of the few Ubisoft games that I didn't even get offered. There's no talk about it on the Ubisoft portal, which is really weird.
Well, until you mentioned it for this week's show, I hadn't heard of this. I didn't know it was coming out.
This originally was supposed to come out a couple of weeks ago and then got pushed back to the end of the month. So we would have originally talked about this at the start of the month. It got pushed back about 3 weeks. But still no, chat about it. There. All right. Let's go. Dave, what did you say, sorry?
I said a 7.
7 as well. Okay. All right. Folks, if there are no more scores, this is Monopoly Star Wars, Heroes and Villains, which came out last Tuesday on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch and Switch 2, and PC. And this, if there's no more scores, got 7 out of 10.
Cool.
There you go. Congratulations. So there you go.
I shouldn't have gone against the crowd.
It's gone against you, Geoff. I'm really sorry. It's gone against you.
Hero or zero.
There you go. Danker is now 4-4-4. Dave will come back to you because you got it right. But if anyone wants to do exclamation Dave, feel free. But Quickman, Dave Housen, Iquail, Flame, Tompa, Chloe, Kindred, Hannah, and Danker all got it right. So have fun with the shout outs. There's going to be a lot of shout outs. There you go. Hannah is now 3 for 4. Danker is 4 for 4. Let us know anyone else. Hannah says that's the best I've done in weeks. Quickman says 3 for 4. Got to be my best record ever. Kindred is also 3 for 4. So we've got some people doing well. Some people doing well. Bear in mind, we've got another 2 games to go. Another 2 games to go. So there you go. Thank you, Dave. Greatly appreciate it. Now, Dave, for those who don't know, he does not stream. We have to give him a shout out. How do you want your shout out tonight, Dave?
Well, what are your options in the room? Can you hide behind the chair? Can you rearrange the artwork on the wall?
I can't rearrange the artwork on the wall.
I don't think you can spin around, can you? Is that a spinny chair? Was it got wheels on? Could you slide? Could you slide from left to right?
If I move the deck.
Chair.
Gonna go through the wall. It's an experiment. We'll work on this for next week.
Valiant.
But then I'll give you a little. Can I give you a little swirl without looking at it over? Not really. It's a bit sliding all over the floor. There you go. Maggie's now an opera singer on wheels. I might be able to do the knee crack. So if you get another one right, I'll be able to do the knee crack. I might be able to do that. We'll see. But there you go. Anyway, congratulations, Dave, for getting that one right.
Thank you.
There you go. Let's move on some more gaming news and more depressing stuff for you, lovely people, because PlayStation announced last week that they are killing physical copies of games in early 2028. Okay. This basically states that for all publishers and all gaming companies that bring out everything on Sony as of January 2028, there will be no physical editions whatsoever. You will only be able to buy digital. Now, what's interesting is a couple of analysts have looked at this and said, why would this be happening? Because there has been a big uproar in the gaming community saying, well, you know, such thing as game preservation. We're not going to own our games anymore because we're only going to own like a license. And then if they decide to strike it off the thing, you don't own it anymore. Also, that's going to kill the second-hand gaming market. It's going to kill collecting games as well. And they said back in 2013, when the PS4 launched, the market was only 13% digital and everything else was physical. Okay. But might be why Sony has switched things, because in 2025, digital sales made up 80% of the sales and physical was only 20%. So in a space of 12 years, that has massively changed. This has also led to lots of speculation, because obviously if you are not creating physical games, it means that it's actually cheaper to do this in some respects. It also means that if you brought out a console without a disk drive, you need less components. Therefore, it is cheaper to make the consoles. And it does stipulate that they reckon that because of this and because they are doing this, that the PlayStation 6 is likely to come out near the back end of 2028, because they will get everyone ready to have no physical games, and then 9-10 months later, boom, here's your brand new PlayStation with no disk drive. As Lava Bean says, no backwards compatibility. Correct, unless they can find a way of doing it digitally. But then again, Xbox did it in a clever way, whereas if you had an old copy of the game like the 360 and you stuck it in an Xbox One on a Series X, it knew you had it, and then you could download it and play a downloaded version of it, or you didn't need the disc. How are you going to do that if you ain't got a disc drive?
You think you still need the disc on the Xbox, though, don't you?
In a way, yes. Yes. Which is good. But then if Xbox, which has also been rumoured, say that they will also not do disc drives, that is going to cause many problems. Let's see what chat's saying, and I'll get Dave and Geoff's opinion on this. So a lot of people are not happy about this. PlayStation watch Xbox do bad news and go, hold my beer, we can do worse. Quickman says, I said to a mate that it's rather pathetic. Final Fantasy VII was many people's first PlayStation game on their shelves, and now it might be many people's last. Think about that. They really didn't expect the response to be quite so negative, did they? Nope. Oh, they're cheaper to make. So does that trickle down to the retail price of the system? Of course it won't.
Of course not.
I can understand Xbox having that bigger digital, as that some of their consoles don't have physical drives. All PlayStations have had drives. The figures they are quoting are not accurate because obviously 80% sales would be digital when 85% of the games are digital only. As I say, came from some analysts. Don't blame me. They got it wrong. They're also going to need a ton of storage for digital, only give games 100 gigabytes. Yeah, but you know they're going to give you shit space hard drives with these new consoles because they always do with the launch consoles.
Yeah, I mean like a terabyte or something because, if we mentioned on all the previous weeks, component prices are stupidly high, storage prices are stupidly high.
Are they going to be relying on cloud? Yeah. Are they going to be relying on cloud gaming as well?
Yeah, and that's not great still. They haven't got that down to fine see yet.
I mean, cloud gaming can work well. I've used GeForce Now, and that's been pretty good sometimes. But it entirely depends on your internet connection. So if you're in a part of the country that's not got very good, it ain't going to work for you, plain and simple. So it's still not a good solution. But I know I am going to miss physical media because I've been buying quite a bit of it recently. Because there's a lot of times when there's games that you fancy playing, but you don't really want to keep it once you've completed it because you probably won't play it again. So, like, 007, Resident Evil Requiem, I've brought those on disc, played them, blasted through them in a couple of weeks, sold them. They've gone for pretty much the price I paid, close enough to. So, I'm getting some money back to go towards the next game. Yeah. But now, I won't be able to do that with PS6. I'll be stuck with the games. I probably won't play the majority of them again if I do decide to buy them on the PlayStation Store. But the one problem you've got with it all going to be on Sony's store only. I mean, they do say there's still going to be like codes sent to retail, but what I would kind of wonder is will you still get decent deals on those? Because the discs in the retail shops you can get good deals on. Like I think Curry is usually off like 10% off a pre-order, which is usually quite good. It's better than buying it from other retailers. It's better than buying it digitally. It's cheaper that way. But we've seen recently, Sony have taken away a load of movies from people who brought them on the PlayStation Store because of licensing. Could do that with games, but we'll have to see. Sony have got a very shit refund policy. You basically have to refund it pretty much straight away. The moment you just download like a bite of the game,
that's it.
You've lost your refund offer. So I mean, we're going to have to see whether they change anything like that, or maybe they get forced to do it because whilst the PC has been digital only for donkey's years. At least Steam's got a good refund policy. You can play up to 2 hours of a game. If you don't like it, refund it. No questions asked. Yeah. That's quite good. PC's also got multiple storefronts on there for competition. Sony will be the only digital storefront offering their games, so they don't have to be competitive. They can keep games at high prices, probably a bit like Nintendo do. Yeah. So we're going to have to worry about stuff like that. And the other problem you'll have is, for pretty much like all consoles that have been out so far, X number of years down the line, you could get one of those consoles and still get hold of media to play on it. 20 years down the line, if you brought a PS6 when they've closed the PS6 store, it would just be a brick, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
you can't buy anything to play on it. It'd be useless. So it's really, kills any preservation with some of their games. So I don't know. Stuff like this just make me rethink whether I would get like a PS6, next time. I mean, at the moment, God knows what the price of these things are going to be, so I might be holding on to my PS5 Pro for quite a number of years, sticking with that.
Yeah.
Or just move fully to PC. I have to bloody see.
See we go.
Zoidberg's put a good example down there.
It's purely for controller prices. God of War Ragnarok is currently 70 quid PlayStation Door. You can get it for 26 quid on Amazon. For a disc copy.
Yeah, stuff should go down in prices. It's been out, but if it's digital, they can just keep it high. And if they've got no competition, like I just said, they can keep it high forever if they wanted to.
Yeah. We're going to have no reason for stores on the high street. Well, most gaming stores don't exist in this country or in America because they're all closing down anyway. So they've already screwed the gaming industry with that because why? Let's have a look at some of the comments and I'll come to Geoff for his thoughts. I've always been a whatever platform I feel like gamer, but my brother who's been Sony since PS1 has told me they're just going to go PC when Sony drops discs. I mean, but PC don't get CDs with that, is that? Because that's all online. But
no, but as I say, at least you've got competing storefronts.
And you've got prices.
Yeah, and if you buy something from Good Old Games, it's DRM free. So you will forever have like the executable files on your machine
that's
to use however you want forever. Can't be taken away from you. So PC has benefits.
Yeah, that's true. I have to go back to my 5 times 2 terabyte external hard drives attached to my Xbox or PlayStation. Then some games need to be played off internal drive. They're doing that more and more. You know, I had an external hard drive, and when the Xbox Series X came out, for the first year, there was games I could play on it. As the years have gone on, I can't run anything off it now. Anything that's new will not run off that. It has to be on the hard drive. Yeah.
Just not fast enough, unfortunately.
No. Digital and physical gaming are both great for different reasons. I love both. The problem is when you don't get the choice, consumer freedom keeps getting taken away. I'm a big retro gamer, and it makes me fear for the future of retro gaming. Will old codes be usable to redeem games after they are pulled for licensing reasons? Doubt it.
Probably not.
Yeah, so if you hang on to a code and you haven't used it, and then they take the license away and you go use it, it'll probably just say this code's invalid. So you spent a load of money a couple of years ago on a code and you can't get it. The death of browsing the used games section hurts my childhood self. No more CEX. Yeah, it's going to kill places like CEX. Whether it will then start to kill 10, 20 years down the line, retro gaming markets. Because there will be no games for retro gaming markets to stand apart from stuff that's from like 40 years ago. I've checked the channel budget and we can't afford a PS6. We can't even afford a meal deal. We better become a retro channel. No, screw that. No more finding the weirdest game you've never heard of for a 10 at a game. No more. No. Geoff, your thoughts on this? Because I know you've got quite a few thoughts.
Makes me wonder about the competition thing, because as you said, at least with PC gaming, you've got Epic, you've got Steam, you've got Good Old Games. If they take away the physical aspect on PlayStation, does that mean then that the competitors, whatever the competitors commission, because I know Apple or Android got into trouble quite recently for only having their storefront, and you could only buy things from their storefront. And I know they got into trouble for that. Is it likely that Sony are going to fall into the same trap? Are they going to have to offer different storefronts for people to be able to buy games digitally? Maybe that's the way the market is going to go. Maybe companies like GameStation are going to be selling, not GameStation, but GameStop, that sort of thing. Yeah. They're going to have digital storefronts that they can then put onto the PlayStation and the Xbox. And the other thing as well is when you take away the disc drives, I still buy movies on physical media. My Xbox is what I watch Blu-rays on.
Yeah, same.
And that's going to go away as well, because I don't even know if you can buy Blu-ray players which aren't in Xboxes and PlayStations anymore. Separate Blu-ray players that plug into the TV. That is my entertainment system. What are we going to be able to watch those movies on, those DVDs, those Blu-rays that we've got, if we haven't got those anymore?
Yeah. Brian says, already said last year that I wouldn't buy a PS6 without a disc drive, so Sony have confirmed my choice for me. This might be a stupid question, but we'll ask anyway. If Sony wanted to remove access to a game, that then would they not be able to do that physical media or not? Since the modern consoles are so online, they could just block access to anything they want. That's true.
The crew doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, you can argue they probably could block something, but if it's already been sold, they don't tend to. If you take the Forza games, like Xbox always, drop off because of licensing. Yeah, you can't buy it anymore. But if you've already got it on disc, we've already brought it on digital, you can still play it because it doesn't matter about the license. Then it was sold when they had the license.
Yeah. One other thing as well I wanted to say was that Xbox have started working towards people changing their physical games to a digital ownership, which tells me that they're kind of looking to do the same sort of thing. Yeah. They haven't said that they're bringing it into physical ownership, but if people are saying that their discs will be transferred to digital, that kind of makes you think that they're going the same way.
Which is slightly worrying. We will have more on this as and when it gets reported. But just when you think it couldn't be bad, this week with the shit news we got from Xbox. Sony came along and made things even worse. Thank you, Sony. Let's move on to our next game. Now, this is a brand new game which came out on Thursday, the 2nd of July, for Switch and Switch 2. And weirdly, this has confused a few people because this has two names. And it is a sequel to another Switch game from quite some time ago. Let's have a look at this. This is worldly known as Rhythm Heaven Groove. Let's have a look at the trailer for this.
In the Rhythm Heaven Groove game, don't see the beat, feel the beat. There it is. Just wait for the cue. Perfect. And now you're in the groove. Challenge your rhythm while playing solo or multiplayer in over 80 rhythm games. Rhythm Heaven Groove. Available now on the Nintendo Switch system. A free demo is also available now on Nintendo eShop.
There you go, folks. So, Rhythm Heaven Groove, or as Kindred put, this is 34 quid, but it's known as Rhythm Paradise Groove as well. So, just to be, but that was kind of the version that we got. There you go. And there is a demo as announced, so you can try the demo as well. God, I jumped out my seat when they first announced that. There you go. Love this series. Icon said, maybe the news section should be binned off. It's just too depressing these days. I mean, I could, but then considering that this month we've hardly had any games to talk about, the show will probably last for about 15 minutes. So I'm relying on these miserable bloody news stories to keep this show going, frankly, for the 2-hour runtime. Maybe we can bin some of them off when we finally get more games to talk about. But Dave, tell us more about this, because this looks like a lot of fun. 80 games, was it? 80 different games on this?
Yeah, I think it's 80 single-player rhythm mini games and about 30 multiplayer mini games. So yeah, there's quite a lot there in the package, and so not too bad a price for all that. I think probably if you like stuff like the WarioWare series, those fast-paced mini games, this is something else like that. Try and pick up the groove and then start to tap into the beat to complete each little mini game. Looks like it'll be pretty good fun. Probably even better with multiplayer. Get a few mates around and be a blast at it. This one has also got a little another type of single player mode called Beat Spell. I think it's meant to be like a little RPG type mode. Still got to play to the rhythm when you're casting spells and stuff like that. From what I was reading, that mode isn't quite as good as it could be. So I think you'll get more for that the usual single player side than you would for that. But it's a nice little extra that's there for something else to play in the package. Yeah, looks pretty good.
Okay. All right. Geoff, your thoughts on this?
I love the look of this. As soon as I watched the trailer earlier on, I started getting a Space Channel 5 sort of vibe from the music as well. It just looks so much fun. These sorts of games, I can imagine, would be great fun for couch co-op, couch competitiveness, couch party game. There was a game that came out years ago on the PlayStation, which I remember playing with mates when drunk, and it just lasted us hours. A game called Bishi Bashi Special, which I don't think anybody else remembers. So whenever I see games like this, I just think, this is a couple of drinks, play it with a few mates, and it's funny that this is my favorite game of what we've seen so far tonight.
Oh, nice.
I really fancy the look of this.
All right. Well, let's see what people are saying. Folks, if you have just joined us tonight, you can guess your scores of what you think this got on the critic score, an average score. Reminding me of Do Re Mi from the other day. Yes, which we were playing on Jackbox. So let's see. Demo made me want to break my controller. 8 out of 10. Must be challenging. Chloe, 6.5. Danker, 8. Quickman, 8. Kindred, 8. Hannah, 8. Rockmuse, 8.5. They have a Bushy Bashy in the arcade club. They do. Bishi Bashi was Conan-wise Rhythm Game Division that did those games. I think the series is still going on in arcades. Bishi Bashi sounds like something you do behind closed doors. Thanks. Tompa, 8. I wasn't paying attention. Usually we go with a 7, but to annoy Rock News, I'm copying her and going 8.5. Iqual, 8. Retro Start, 7. You know, anyone who puts the same as me fails. So Dave immediately went, wait, no, I'll go for an 8. Flame, an 8. Dave, I'll start with you. What do you reckon this got?
I'll go for an 8 as well.
Okay, go for an 8. Geoff?
7.5, I think.
7.5. Okay. Folks, last chance. This is Rhythm Heaven Groove, which came out last Thursday on Switch and Switch 2. And if there are no more guesses, I can tell you that I probably will be worried because of Dave Housen. But this did get a 8 out of 10 on average. I think IGN scored this the highest. I think IGN gave this a 9. But most places, Eurogamer, GamerRanks, Metacritic, GameSpot, there's one other, gave it an 8 out of 10. So there you go. So congratulations. Dave, you got your second one right. Exclamation Dave in chat. I'll try and do the crack your knees for you in a minute. See if I
Yeah, I was going to suggest that one.
Well done to Flame. Flame, iQuail, Tompa, Dave Housen, because he quickly changed his mind. Hannah, Kindred, Quickman, Danker, and Brian, UKGN Zoiberg. Congratulations to all of you who got that right. So while those shout outs are being done, thank you, mods. Thank you, Dave. Let's give you a shout out. Danker is 5 for 5. He's got one more to go. Let's see if we can scupper him on the last one. Right. See if I can do a knee cracker.
Mm-hmm.
I have to think about how I do this. So I'm going to go like this, right? Oh, that was both. Did you hear that?
Yes.
That was both knees. Extended London both knees edition. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, Dave!
Very nice.
God, bloody hell. That's the first time we've had a double knee break. Okay. Moving on with more fucking depressing news.
Oh, dear.
Here we go. Brace yourselves, people. Xbox, as of yesterday, announces 3,200 layoffs. 1,600 of these are happening immediately, as of yesterday, and the rest will be spread out over the course of the year. Ash Sharma, the new CEO of Xbox, has stated that this is the most significant restructuring of Xbox to date. We mentioned earlier that 5 studios are under threat, and this is what's happening with them. At the moment, Arcane, which we talked about with the whole Blade game, is still under review of what they're going to do. And they've also, Microsoft are talking to the powers that be in France because they have to go through French law to sort out what needs to be done. The good news is, as it stands, none of these studios are being shut down. So when Phil Spencer was in control, they had a tendency to shut studios down. Microsoft are taking a slight change of tact. And the fact that both Compulsion Games and Double Fine have been let go, but are allowed to trade independently, like how they were originally, so as their own thing. And not only that, get to keep their back catalogue of games, which I think is great, because you do hear of we have heard of studios that are let go and independent, but yeah, but we still own your games, so fuck you. No, they get all their back catalogue, they get all that. Ninja Theory and Undead Labs, who have 2 games that have been announced, State of Decay 3 and new Senua's Saga game, are trying to be sold on as a going concern to another company, which will then make sure that those games come out. However, there's an interesting thing with this. It does mean that if these are sold, depending on how these are sold on, and assuming Arcane isn't shut down, let's say all the games that they are working on do come out, it means they don't have to do Game Pass whatsoever. They do not have to put their games on Game Pass at all. They might decide to go with PS Plus. Or they might decide they're not going to do either, because sometimes, as some studios have announced, doing stuff like Game Pass and PS Plus does not work financially for these companies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it might get them out to a bigger audience, because they might have, let's say Psychonauts 2 came out. Microsoft, that gave that a big grand fanfare when that came out, and that was quite a big success. Really, that was kind of like the last big success that Double Fine have had. And loads of people played that, and loads of people love it. In fact, people went back and played the original one. So it brought it out to a new audience. If they that release them themselves, that might not have worked the same way. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, but we'll have to see what happens. But this is the state of affairs. However, saying that those studios are not going to be closed down, it does still mean that 3,200 jobs are going to be lost, and they've said that this is equivalent of 1/5 of the whole of the Xbox staff. That's a hell of a lot of people. 1/5 of all the Xbox, all the studios and everything that they've got. They've still said that certain studios are safe, so such as Bethesda, because they're working on Skyrim 6. We know the team, Playground Games, because they've got Fable, they've got Horizon 6. But then we've seen other studios now suffer. One that Dave brought up on this was ID, people responsible for Doom. They've just had layoffs. And numerous other studios have also had layoffs. They're still operated by Microsoft, but then there's been huge layoffs. We've also seen lots of people go from Rare as well recently, and other studios. So this isn't great. But they're saying it's going to be a massive restructuring because Xbox needs to be profitable. Dave, your thoughts first.
Well, I mean, it's terrible, isn't it? All these jobs gone. All the experience these people had at the studios, gone. I mean, hopefully the people will find roles somewhere else, be able to use that experience. But the game industry is a bit, probably a bit iffy for just the big studios hiring more people. Or, some of these people might not even be able to spin out their own studio, because I think the investment levels are down in gaming at the moment. Investments over in the AI world really at the minute. So. Whilst it's nice, Compulsion, Double Fine have gone back to an independent. You've got to hope that they either get some funding to keep going for a while, and or they make some good games that are popular and sell enough to keep them going. Because that they could go independent and not last that long, because the next game, whatever it is, they could release another Kiln. It gets no sales, and then you just don't know, do you? I mean, you make any game, you don't necessarily know how well it's going to do. So I hope the studios can keep going, because they make interesting games. Not the best-selling games, but they're certainly interesting ones. You still want to see that stuff coming out, because if we ever just got stuck with just the franchises, they just keep churning out yet another one, another Gears, another Halo, another whatever. They kind of get a bit boring. You get that franchise fatigue, because every franchise has diminishing returns. You can look at that pretty much anywhere. Every franchise starts to get boring after a while. You just don't want to see any more of it. So I hope we still get the interesting games coming out. I hope they still sell well. So I hope these studios do well in the long run. And I hope Xbox manage to get themselves back in order. I mean, it's a shame they've got to do this, but if they're not making any money, then I can understand they've got to do it to try and get themselves in a better place. I mean, one thing I read which sounds like a good idea is it sounds like they are restructuring their management layers internally to remove the red tape and blockers that get in their way. So they can management levels down from 14 to 3 or 5 instead, which must remove a lot of dead wood that probably gets in the way and slows down some of these games getting made. So hopefully stuff like that will help them. But we're just going to have to tell in the next few years, aren't we? See how they actually do. See what the games they bring out are like. See if they can get their releases back in a bit of a quicker cadence.
Because to be honest. Sorry, go on. You first.
Yeah, so I was going to say, because they're talking about like getting Bethesda to focus on like Elder Scrolls and Fallout, but Bethesda aren't exactly quick at getting games out.
No,
they are slow. They'll be better off giving Fallout to a different studio, I think, and keep Bethesda up the arse to get Elder Scrolls 6 going a bit quicker. Otherwise, we're still waiting years for some of these games.
I'll be honest. There's not a great deal that I'm that excited about. Fable, I'm excited about. Gears E-Day, I'm not excited about. I said this when we watched the showcase. It looks like a perfectly fine Gears game. I'm sure it'll be fine, but fine doesn't cut it at the end of the day, does it? The only one that I'm really interested in is what is it? Clockwork Revolution. Yeah, which looks great. Cool. But will it do well? That's the question. It looks fantastic, but I don't know whether that's going to do well because it's such a niche thing. But we'll have to see. Let's see what the chat is saying, and I'll ask Geoff his opinion. The Xbox seeing the PlayStation no physical media news, and then go for the second time. Hold my beer. This story sounds familiar. Yes. Brian says they said any announced games are safe and will be funded, which would be why they made sure Senua got announced last month. Same with State of Decay 3 then as well, because that was announced. JL, good evening. Good to see you, buddy. Horrifying stats of people losing their jobs is going to destroy the gaming market entirely. Like Xbox, don't give a flying F. Kindred. I wonder if these companies have been under consideration for a few years, but until they change CEO, then someone's actually made a decision. If this happened over a few years, would seem semi-normal, but it's all at once, and it seems worse. True. Quickman says, I could never be on this show. Quickman, what are your thoughts? Everything's a bit shit, isn't it?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Hey, there you go.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Working in tech industries is precarious. Make bad game, get laid off. Make good game, get laid off. Make a commercial failure, lay off. Make a commercial hit, laid off. Yeah.
Yeah.
They put except Mario, but Mario's got nothing to do with Microsoft. So the entire gaming industry overstretched during the boom in COVID is now suffering because it's so true. So true. Do we know why people are losing their jobs? Is this anything to do with AI? No, this is them cutting the fat, trimming the studios, because going back years ago, I say years ago, it wasn't that long ago, but Phil Spencer and his team were like, we want to get more independent studios on board, and they bought up tons of studios, because whereas necessarily didn't get loads of studios that did massive first party games, it meant that a lot of indie games were coming to Xbox day one, and that was like to really push indie in that, which was great at the time. But then what they didn't realize is not all these games are successful, and you're relying on Game Pass subscriptions to sell these games. And as we've already talked about, Game Pass subscriptions gone through the floor because they flipping jack the price up, the idiots. Then your games aren't profitable and your model's not profitable. And this is the problem. Do you think they will abolish Game Pass altogether with the layoffs? I don't think they will. Gozzo sent me a thing last night. Now, we'd already talked about it, that they'd already lost millions from the Game Pass price hike. But it's still technically making them money. And it's the only thing that actually really is making them money. The only thing they're now backing on them making a lot of money is the new Call of Duty, because Call of Duty will not be coming to Game Pass for at least a year. So that means it'll be selling on PlayStation, PC, Xbox, etc. It's not coming to PS4 or Xbox One. This is the first Call of Duty, but they will get all the revenue from that because they own that. I can't see Game Pass going fully. Otherwise, it's going fully cloud. There you go. Geoff, I'm going to hand to you. What are your thoughts on this horrible situation?
Everything's a bit shit then, really.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, I've been quite a loyal Xbox person for the last couple of generations. As I talked to you on the podcast, Mag, it's only recently that I got myself a PlayStation 5, which is the first PlayStation I've had since the PS2.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of wondering now where the hell is the gaming industry going next? I mean, at the moment, it looks like Nintendo is kind of the only thing that seems stable, if that's the word. But it got me thinking as well. We were talking about Bethesda and getting them to do things like Elder Scrolls and Skyrim and that. And Fallout and that. Aren't Obsidian still part of Xbox? Or are they going to be somebody that's under threat as well? Because, they did New Vegas, they did The Outer Worlds. I think that's been cancelled, that series as well. They've got the studio still there. And at what point does at what sort of level are these layoffs? Are they programmers? Are they middle management? Are they sort of the chaff that will help the wheat survive, so they're actually still getting the games out there? I don't know. It's all above my pay grades, that's for sure.
It's not great. It's funny. I mean, Asher Sharma's been painted out to be the bad person in this, but I feel, as some people have said, this could have been years in the making that this was going to happen. And then she's the one to finally come and gone, do you know what? It needs to be done. Screw it. Let's just go on it. So I'm not going to absolutely crucify her on this, because this cannot be easy for anybody to do. And also then it falls down to, obviously, then certain studios to then go, well, who are we letting go? And that must be a horrible thing to do as well. So you're right. She's inherited the trash fire. Yeah. So I don't think she's the one to blame here. It's the people that have all left and gone before her that are the ones. She could turn this around, and if she does, fantastic. At the moment, I honestly can't see that happening yet, but we'll see. There you go, Jim. Answer your question. According to Kotaku, around 60-70 people were cut from Obsidian. There you go.
I was going to say as well, because when what I've forgotten her name, the new boss of Xbox. Yeah, because when she came in, she was doing all these things about announcing the cuts of Xbox Game Pass, all the prices, and I think I saw something as well that they're trying to get rid of all these ridiculous tiers that they don't need. They're just trying to strip it back to what Xbox Game Pass should be. And it's sort of like she made friends to start with, and now she's making the hard decisions. She is the bad guy in this, but it's weird to say. I kind of feel a bit sorry for her, because I do think she's inherited what was left really after the Xbox One fallout and the whole Kinect debacle, when the PS4 just massively outsold the Xbox One.
And you know what? It's funny, because you think about it now. At the time, everyone was like, "Oh, great! Phil Spencer is doing really good for this." And it's only in the last year or so before he left, it was like, "Oh, things are going a bit wrong for Phil Spencer." But then you do have to think and go, was he just literally just stringing it along and keeping the glue all together because it was just going to shit anyway? And then has gone, "I'm off. See you later." And it over to a new person. It does make you wonder. I mean, that might not be the case, but he was always painted as the good guy from the start. But it does make you wonder. Yeah, but
I think things kind of went a bit. I think things kind of went a bit off after they brought Activision Blizzard, because that was so expensive. I think they started getting a bit more oversight from above, the top level of Microsoft wanted. They want that money back, don't they? So they forced them to do a few things they didn't want to do. So we are where we are now.
Yeah. Easy win for them easy win for them would be to announce at Gamescom that the next Xbox will have a disc drive.
They could do to Sony what Sony did to them at the Xbox One era with the whole disc swapping thing.
Yeah,
because that's when Microsoft were trying to like do a lock in the disc of the console, get rid of the second-hand market, and Sony was like, I just want a disc like this on our console, not any fucking more.
Yeah. But there you go. Final comment before we move on. He kept up the facade for as long as possible, and when this could no longer be held off, went, all right, I'm leaving. You get to be the evil person in the public opinion and bail with a golden parachute. There you go.
Yeah, that's it. They get off scot-free with shitloads of money. Just like Jim Ryan on the PlayStation side for all the waste of money on live service over there. Christ.
Yeah, there you go. Geoff stole Quickman's answer. Fire him immediately.
Sorry, I saw that go past on chat, and I thought, I'm going to say that because what's your opinion on this? Yeah, of course it is. And then, to be honest, it is Quickman's comment and the whole thing about the shit show. Well, it's 100%. But I agree, 100%.
Yeah, there's someone tweeting Asher every day. Is the Xbox Hellies going to have a disc drive? She hasn't replied yet, actually. Abdu, good evening. Good evening. No. Anyway, we'll move on. Our hearts go out to all the people and employees yet again that have lost their jobs, and we hope that you may find new work soon. It's very, very tough out there. We wish all you and your families all the best. Okay. Moving on to our final game of the evening. This is a game that came out today. So there you go. We've gone from a couple of weeks ago right up to date. This came out on PC, Switch, and Switch 2, folks. And this is Moonlight Peaks. Let's have a look at the trailer for this.
Hello, my little vampire. I'm so glad you're doing well in Moonlight Peaks. Your letters always brighten my nights. Does the old farm feel like home yet? You've always had a knack for making spaces feel enchanting. It sounds like your spells and potions are improving too. Isn't it nice to have a little magical help to lighten the load? I love hearing about your new hobbies as well. They sound like great fun and a wonderful way to meet new people. Speaking of which, you'll have to introduce me to all your new friends when we visit. I think it'll be good for your dad to be back in Moonlight Peaks too. It's far past time the families in town made peace with each other. Anyway, I can't wait to see you again, my darling. I'm sure you've changed a lot, in more ways than one. See you soon in Moonlight Peaks. Love, Mom. Available now.
There you go, Moonlight Peaks. I think Dave Housen just described this brilliantly. Animal Crossing with a cutesy vampire cover.
Yeah.
There you go. Dave, anything to add to that?
No, that's it. Spot on.
Sweet.
I'll give it an 8.
But tell people what this is about, apart from that bit, if they do want to know. Yeah,
so it's Animal Crossing with a cutesy vampire cover, which I thought of myself. No plagiarism at all.
No, not at all.
No, none at all. So yeah, it is just one of those little cozy life sims. You know, it's got a little. You're playing as a little vampire in this one. You're going to meet little werewolves and witches and mermaids, are the mystical creatures in there. And like most of the life sims, you just plant stuff in your farm, grow your crops, brew potions and stuff like that, and go out and meet some of the residents. I think strike up romances with them as well. That sort of game, not for me at all. I wouldn't play it. But these sort of things do pretty well. And since it's got this a bit of a sort of goth vampire type vibe to it, might appeal to more people than usual. Yeah. Well, this is the thing. Rockme says, are they all vampires? As far as I know. I think there's werewolves and witches and mermaids, that sort of mystical type creature. There you go. So, yes, it's all different creatures. I mean, the chat's half and half. We've got people like Hannah, Rockmuse, Chloe, loving all this, and then you got people like Dan Cronat like going, nah, not really my thing. But yeah, I could see the appeal to this. So yeah, this is normally £30 on Steam, but you can get it for 26 quid on PC. And Switch is 35 quid, and there's an upgrade pack for a £5. So there you go. Rockmuse says, I did look at purchasing this. So yeah, so it's cheapest on PC at the moment. It's about 26 quid. Geoff, your thoughts on this cozy vampire game?
not my sort of game. Neither. It looks cute. I'm sure it'll be incredibly popular because it looks like that sort of game, and I know how popular the Animal Crossing type games are. But it's just not for me. Wish it all the best in the world, but it's not going to end up on any of my machines, I don't think. Sorry.
Dave says the Switch one is more expensive, or you can pay even more to play on the Switch 2. Also, why haven't I fired Dave and Geoff? Because I haven't had the facts from Asher yet, so I can't really do much. My hands are tied. Sorry, and Phil Spencer's on holiday on the beach. There you go. Abdul's mentioned about some game called Washington Prime. I've never heard it. If you want to put the trailer in the Discord, in the media links, I will have a look at it for you. But it's not something I've heard of, and not something that we're talking about tonight. Right, folks, let's get your scores in for this, because our last game of the night. Coming up after that, we're going to be talking about ironically, the Xbox retail charts. Let's see what we got. Danka, 8 out of 10. Brian, 8 out of 10. Hannah, 8 out of 10. And Hannah even said, I'm looking, she's finished Pokemon Pokopia, so this is the next thing that she probably want to play. Chloe, 8 out of 10. Kindred, 8 out of 10. Dave, 8 out of 10. Start with you, Geoff.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Dave, what say you?
I was thinking 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, that's fine. Iquel, 6.5. Blaine, 8 out of 10. Rock News says 7.5, so I don't hurt anyone else. Bless you. Any more, folks? This is Moonlight Peaks, which came out today on PC, Switch, and Switch 2. Retro Shazar saying 7 out of 10. And if there are no more guesses, I can tell you that this got 8 out of 10.
Hey.
So there you go. So firstly, can we get a shout out for Geoff? That's his second one right this evening. Congratulations, Geoff.
Top and tailed it.
Top and tail. Perfect. Yeah, first one and last one. That's what you want. Go check out the links, folks. Go check out the links. Go download the podcasts. And the new episode goes live tomorrow. And it features me. And we're talking Timeless. And we're talking computer and video games from 1990. So
Issue 100.
Issue 100 as well. Check that out. How cool is that? I was like, wrong link, ignore. Thank you. Well done. Well done to everyone. Danka got all 6 right this week. He's been on a bit of a iffy streak, but this week he's proved to get it right. So well done, Danka. And well done to the following people. Flame, Dave Housen, Kindred, Chloe, Hannah, Brian, Danka. Well done. I love Geoff podcasts. He has top quality guests on there. Cough. Yes, like you, Brian. Thank you, Hannah. Jesse on his way home, and I pre-warned him about Timeless announcements. That's fine. I will have to catch up with Geoff and just make sure there isn't anything that I announced that now's not happening. So we'll just put a written disclaimer and just go, Mag got it wrong. It's all his fault. And then Asher Sharma can fire me. There you go. You may get a voice note or two, and I may just choose not to listen to them. So there you go. Congratulations to everyone got it right. Dave also got it right. Exclamation Dave in the chat. Dave, what would you like for your last shout out?
What are the options you can do? Because you've had the knee cracking. You kind of did a bit of a spinning around. What else can you do in there?
So I could probably actually go out the door, walk down a corridor from where I am, and then walk in.
Why not?
Why not? It's going to be weird because I might run into other people where I am, but let's see. Can you hear me, Dave?
Yep.
Okay, I'm on my way. Dave!
Very nice.
I just had some people looking at my corridor thinking, what the fuck was he doing? There you go. That's a new one. There you go. Anyway, moving on to the final part of the show. And this is where we look at different charts each week, what's going on in the retail world of gaming. And this week, ironically, we're looking at the Xbox chart because we've not really looked at that for about 2 months or so. So this is what is going on with the Xbox chart. Brian, thank you so much for being here. Take care. Have a good night. At number 10, we've got a re-entry with Split Fiction. At number 9, after leaving the chart, we've got a re-entry with Resident Evil Requiem. Down one place from a couple of weeks ago, as number 8 is EA Sports UFC 6. Up 3 places is the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. At 6, we've got a non-mover with Grand Theft Auto 5. At 5, we also have a non-mover with Battlefield 6. Down one place at number 4 is Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. At 3, up one place, so it's swapped with Lego Batman, is EA Sports FC 26. A non-mover at number 2 is Forza Horizon 6. And number 1, a non-mover for the Xbox chart is 007 First Light. That is our chart. So you can see that there is a lot of hype generating around the Grand Theft Auto, because the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy and GTA 5 doing quite well there. Obviously, UFC 6 is the newest of the games that's there. Obviously, slid down the charts a little bit. But other fairly new games we've got there are obviously Forza Horizon, Lego Batman, and obviously 007 First Light, which has been doing very well on all the charts. Well, because that is probably going to be the second biggest selling game of the year. I don't think it's going to beat Resident Evil Requiem, but it's certainly doing very, very well. We may see. It might do. We'll see. Any surprises, any thoughts on any of those, Dave and Geoff?
Just nice to see Split Fiction popping back up in there, because that was a great card game. Thoroughly enjoyed that. So pleased to see it's still doing well.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised to see the GTA trilogy in there, considering how it was panned when it was first released. I think they've made some quality of life improvements to that over the years as well, haven't they? I actually quite liked them.
Yeah. No, so there you go. And no surprises at all. FIFA, well, not FIFA, but EAFC just always hanging around like a bad smell. There you go. And a game that Dave highly rated last year, Battlefield 6, still doing very, very well. So
pleased to see that still doing well. They're doing some good work on that. Plenty of new maps coming out. I think Season 4 must be dropping next month or so.
Yeah. So it's good. As we say, there is a new Call of Duty out this year. Call of Duty last year didn't do well. Lost to Battlefield 6. They're trying to get a new Call of Duty out. We'll have to see how that varies, but we'll see if that does well or not. There you go. We will have more gaming charts for you next week. More likely, we will have the UK retail chart back, because we look at that every 2 weeks, because that does fluctuate massively. So there we go. But we'll come back to the Xbox in a couple of months, and then we'll also have a look at Steam and obviously also PlayStation in a few weeks' time. That's it for our show, folks. That is it. Thank you so much to our wonderful guest, our returning guest. Thank you to Geoff from 8-Bit Back Issues. Thank you for being here, Geoff.
Oh, my pleasure. Really enjoyed it. Thanks for inviting me back.
It's great to have you back on. Again, links are pinned to the top of the chat. Do go follow them on X so you can find out on when all the latest podcasts are launched. But you can listen to all the different episodes on over the last couple of years, as well as the new episode that drops with me talking about the 100th issue of Computer and Video Games and games in the 1990s, as well as talking about Timeless. I'm probably unveiling some stuff I probably shouldn't have done, which will probably get announced at the end of this week.
Can I just check as well the Hideo Kojima announcement? Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely fine. We're not going to
fab.
Him and Jeff Keighley live on stage is going to be great. It's going to be
awesome.
Great.
Yeah, cool.
Be a good show.
Yeah,
it'd be a disappointment if they don't turn up.
Yeah, I know. It'll be all right. Jeff says he's his best mate. I'm sure he will. Be fine. He'll be fine. There you go. Hang on, was it Jeff Keighley I was talking to, or was it you, Jeff? I'm confused now.
Or was it Jeff Capes?
Oh, if it was Jeff Capes, we're definitely in shit. I probably booked a wrestler called Hideo Kojima. Whoops. There you go. Good evening, Ems. She said, sorry, I was fashionably late as always. That's all right. As always, thank you to my co-host that knows the most, Mr. Dave Jones.
Always a pleasure, mate.
We will be back with Tuesday Night Gaming Chat next week. Our guest next week will not be Dave Housen, he said. It will be the wonderful MZ Lee, the wonderful cosplayer and Just Dancer, who officially appears in some of the Just Dance games, and also running our Just Dance competition for this year, yet again, at Timeless. So she will be our guest next week. Also, tomorrow, I might be starting a little bit early, might be starting about 15 minutes early, because literally Twitch have offered me a sponsorship just before I went live. So we will be broadcasting for the first half an hour to an hour the opening ceremony to the Esports World Cup. So we are going to be basically live broadcasting that. And then when that's done, we're going to be going into a bit of Gartic phone. So there you go. So Twitch basically went, do you fancy this? And I went, yes. There you go. As you know, I do this full time. If they offer me money, I'm going to take it. And I thought, do you know what? We've never done this before. Let's give it a whirl go. If we all have a big snooze and we find it boring, I'll never do it again. So there you go. So you can blame me for that one. But yes, we will be doing Gartic. And remember, on Thursday, we'll be playing the brand new Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. There will be drops. I can confirm there will be Twitch drops for you to get some loot. And I'm still waiting for it to be confirmed, I may still have 2 copies of the game to give away. That bit is not confirmed, but the stream definitely is, because I already had my copy of the game. It got sent to me on Friday. I'm not allowed to talk about it yet. Get slapped wrist. I'm allowed to talk about it as from tomorrow night, apparently. But yes, we may have some copies to give away as well. Fingers crossed. So there you go. There should be a Timeless TNGC. Do you know what? We did back in the day, Dave and me threw the idea around. But Dave has never done anything on stage. And when we did the first ever Timeless, when it was called something else, we were potentially going to do that. And then we just decided to remove it because not enough people would have known who we were. And it seemed a bit self-indulgent. Dave was over the moon that we pulled it because he didn't want to be on stage. Maybe one day, I don't know, to celebrate an anniversary or something, maybe we do a special live thing. Maybe. I don't know how. But we'll give Dave years of notice for that. So then if he does need to back out, he can. So that'll be
fine. A
spare
Dave to take my place.
Yeah, we'll get the spare Dave in. We'll get all the other Daves except Dave. There you go. Probably won't sell tickets then, because anyone wants to just see you. They want to see me. So there we go. Won't it clash with the VIP night? We won't be. So just to explain what will be happening. Next week is a normal TNGC. The week after TNGC will be on the Monday, because I'm at the very special one night only event in London. And then that's being broadcast a week after. So then TNGC will be back, and we will have 2 more TNGCs until Timeless. There will be no TNGC the week of Timeless, because as Iquel said, the VIP night is on. But then what we will do is the week after Timeless, Dave and me will do a special show of TNGC where there is no guest, but we will cover the 2 weeks of games that we missed. One night only event in London. Yes, I have been invited to an event in London called One Night Only. All I can say about it at the moment, because I'm under an NDA, is there are a number of software houses that I will get to play new games that they are bringing out. I will get to interview them. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say who they are. Some are very big games companies. Some are independent ones. Some of them I already know. Some of them I've already played their games, ironically. And then there is a big ceremony that's been recorded and broadcast, but the broadcast goes out the week after, and I'm not allowed to talk about it until the week after. And I've been invited to that special event in London. It's not open to the public. That's all I'm going to say with that one. So I have to keep tight-lipped, so I can't even say. I was given the list of the game companies literally today, but that's all I can say. There you go. Anyway, enough about that, because Dave Housen will go, oh, look at me, I'm going to a special show, it's mag, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, thank you to everyone who's been watching. Thank you to the mods. And let's go do a raid. Let's see who's on. Press the button and see if it happens. I did, Dave, just for you. I did that for you. Let's see who's on. Always bring things up. And let's go. Let's go with, I'm going to jump back a page. I'm going to go with, let's see what she's streaming first before I do anything. Now, this is a game I've heard a lot about, but I've not actually watched, and loads of people have talked about this. Even Rock Muse has been telling me about this. This is a game called Mecha Chameleon.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Yeah. My mate, who's a fabulous VTuber and also a fantastic cosplayer and also does a lot of Just Dance and will also be at Timeless, is Tilly Superdog. So we're going to go raid Tilly. She was at TwitchCon with me. So let's go say hello to Tilly and we can have a look at what all the fuss is about Mecha Chameleon. That raid will start. Legendary JR says, yeah, Mecha Chameleon's blowing up. Chaotic is like, is she? Where is she? She's not on my thing. I've not got her. I've not got her at all, Rock Muse. I've done that one now anyway. I'll try and raid her another time. We'll save that for another time. Thank you so much, everyone. We're going to hit the buttons and we'll send you over to the raid. I'll drop that in the chat so everyone's got it. If the raid doesn't go over. And that's it. Thank you so much, everyone. From us, good night. We'll do that thing where we wave. See you later. Bye.